Welcome back to the very final episode of ATTV 2025 here in Dallas, Texas. My name is Ben McLeod. I am your host, founder of ConveyBio. I'm very excited to be joined by Mitch. We've worked together in the past. Excited to have a conversation with you. Mitch, can you tell me a little bit more about your role at OmniaBio and what OmniaBio does?
Thanks, Ben. My name is Mitch Civilotti. As mentioned, I'm the CEO and president of OmniaBio. We're a cell and gene therapy focused CDMO that's providing services to therapeutic developers from early stage preclinical work right through commercial manufacturing.
Excellent, very good. So can you tell me a little bit about, in terms of, obviously we're here at ATW, the cell and gene therapy market is growing. There seems to be some muted optimism. How do you kind of see the cell and gene therapy landscape evolving in order to transform healthcare?
You know, with each passing month and each passing year, we see advances. New commercial approvals are happening. Immunotherapies, for example, has really been kind of the poster child for a lot of those successes commercially, and at least cell therapies. And we see that continuing to grow, right? I think what we're going to see and what we kind of expect in the future is watching that scale further, but ultimately, how are we going to grow that and how are we going to support that is through cost reductions and higher production capacity. So that's really something that's the focus of us. And I think that's going to play into making this industry grow and reach patients around the world.
Absolutely. And then I guess, there's lots of optimism, but ultimately there are still lots of challenges inside of the face as well. What would be some key challenges I think we really need to be able to deal with here?
Yeah. So as I kind of mentioned there, I think, and what we're hearing from our clients and our partners right now, and I think that'll just go into the future, is how do we bring down the cost of these cell therapies, right? So we're spending a great deal of time thinking about optimization right from the process development point of view or time frame through commercial, and that's leveraging new advances in artificial intelligence as well as integrating robotics and the capabilities that robotics can bring to reduce costs and increase throughput to provide clients with the price point I think that's going to make better sense for healthcare payers and ultimately lead to more doses, better quality, and better patient access.
Excellent. Recently, OmniaBio launched their facility in Hamilton. Congratulations, it's great. Having lived down the road, it's great to see the Canadian ecosystem for cell and gene therapy growing. Had a chance to tour it while it was still under construction. Can you tell me a little bit more about the facility? When you kind of think of contract manufacturing and the facilities, you guys are in a unique position where you're building something brand new. Can you tell me what's unique about the building?
Yeah, when we designed the building, we had the advantage, obviously, of knowing a lot more about the industry. The cell therapy industry was at a particular point of maturation that we could say, what is really the need and how should we be laying out this facility specifically for high throughput cell manufacturing and the logistics and supply chain associated with that. It's probably an underappreciated element of what we do, but heavy on logistics, heavy on people movement, material movement, product movement through that facility. So the thinking that went into how we designed this, both for lentiviral manufacturing, for cell manufacturing, and ultimately for bioreactor scale manufacturing of allotherapies, was all put into that design. It makes it very unique and it can accommodate the needs of a broad range of uses specific to the core platforms that we manufacture in iPSCs, in immunotherapies, and in viral vector for lenti.
Excellent. Are there any unique capabilities that you're super excited about?
We're very excited and have thought really deeply about how to integrate robotics into this facility, leverage the data from manufacturing, which robotics really connects to well because of the data we can collect from automated manufacturing, and then tying that back to data systems that can learn from that data or provide insights to clients or insights to us on manufacturing so that we can keep that optimized and running smoothly. So a lot of opportunity there at this facility with robotics, and the Toronto ecosystem actually is great for that because of the infrastructure in place for data transfer, for example, the data centers that we have in Toronto and redundancy that we have in the region. It's a very strong area for supporting robotics and AI.
Excellent. And I'm glad you talked about it. Maybe we can dive into this a little bit deeper. I've had several conversations at the show. Automation, so essential. AI on top is going to be incredible. But really having the data that's going to be able to feed those systems and make them improve and get better and better is something that we're starting to see more of inside of the industry, where people are looking at process analytical technology that's tying into these other two things. How are you guys looking at that trifecta?
Well, that's part and parcel of the automation. So the automation systems will have PAT technologies that are pulling in data from manufacturing processes, whether that's monitoring the robotics themselves, the movement of those robots, avoiding shift, or that's taking samples, for example, from a manufacturing process and passing that to QC, which will ultimately find itself through the LIMS system and into our AI for analysis and feedback to our clients. And ultimately, the goal here is to provide high throughput, high quality, but then provide the transparency on the manufacturing process that you might not be able to achieve otherwise, right? Providing a window into what's happening in the CDMO is a goal that we have, and I think that resonates really well with clients, because CDMOs in some cases can feel a bit like a black box, right? You send something in and you're expecting something out, you get reports from project management, but if you can see a bit more about how the process is happening while it happens, we'd like to make that possible.
That's really interesting. A conversation I had yesterday with a fellow Canadian was about that. It's like, okay, if we can go to Domino's and we can see what stage our pizza is, and
Absolutely.
that's like $13, but we don't have something similar for a multi-million-dollar therapy, that's a problem. And so we really should have that sort of system in place. So glad that you guys are thinking about that. So the facility has been open for a little bit now. OmniaBio has been around for a couple years. Can you share any recent successes that you guys have seen?
Well, the big success is the launch of the Hamilton facility, right? This was a process that was about 3 years in the making. It was the kickoff and launch of OmniaBio as an organization about 3 years ago, a spin out of CCRM, which was 10 years of manufacturing innovation, the culmination of all that work and innovation that was brought together into the creation of Omnia. That allows us to have the Hamilton site, we have the Toronto site, so we have an early stage preclinical through phase 1 facility that provides process development and analytical development, and then we have that late stage facility that just launched. And we launched that with two pivotal opportunities. So we're working with two pivotal clients, which is a great way to kick off a new facility. You have already projects to be working on, exercising all those muscles and getting ready for future programs through all the work and energy that we can focus around getting those two programs launched. So
right on.
Ideal.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Perfect. I guess finally, one of the themes that I've seen over and over again in the conference has been, when you've got these different technologies that are starting to come together, collaborations are really going to be where we see a 1 + 1 = 3 situation. Yeah. So I know you guys have had some pretty key partnerships. Can you tell about some success stories in that space?
Well, we come, being a spin out of CCRM, we come from a culture of collaboration, right? Excellent. That is just like the cornerstone of the, kind of the words that CCRM lives by, and that culture is passed along to Omnia. We continue with a lot of collaboration with CCRM, focused on research and development primarily of our core platforms and new platforms as we see the industry evolve. That includes, for example, Cytiva as a major partner. We have a collaboration with them on R&D. And then amongst other, there's a lot of other things that are happening, right? A lot of customer partnerships that develop better technologies for their programs, as well as government and funding related partnerships that drive further innovation for our organization. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Invest Ontario, the federal government in Canada, NGen, for example, amongst others that I'm probably forgetting at the moment. But a lot of great partnerships that have helped with a lot of focus on innovation, that we can then provide experienced and technology leading staff to our clients so they can leverage for their programs.
Yeah, it's maybe quite optimistic for Canada that we're spending the resources that are needed to really develop a greater presence in this area, and glad that CCRM and OmniaBio have been such a big part of that.
Well, it's upon like the CDMO industry to continue to advance and optimize efficient ways of bringing clients' projects to market, right? Bringing those through the clinical phases of development, the early phases and late phases. So we invest as an industry, the CDMOs, and through competition with each other as well, on advances in how we can improve timelines, improve cost, and ultimately improve quality for our clients. So I think, it's a capitalist system that I think works very well, and we benefit from, like I said, that decade of experience that we gained from CCRM and investment from various parties like Cytiva and the government in programs that just do just that. So we're pretty excited about where we are, the capabilities we have, and we're excited to work with folks on their programs.
Excellent. Perfect. Well, this is a great way to end ATTV this year. 2 Canadians finishing it off here in Dallas, Texas. Really excited to one day get a chance to tour the now complete facility of OmniaBio. So thanks again for being on, Mitch, and thanks to everyone at home for tuning in.
All right,
we'll see you later.
Ben.